Zack Snyder's Justice League transcends not only what a superhero movie can be, but what a movie can be. What? I never thought a director can be so bold and so correct on every decision made, but Snyder was willing to go far and beyond into his brilliant mind and pull off a film that makes me proud to be part of the human race. When the 4 hours of this masterpiece ended, I teared knowing that was an experience I wouldn't have again. I'm glad it happened. Zack Snyder's Justice League was all around the greatest film I've ever seen. Best superhero movie without a doubt. Well, I don't know, I think that's debatable. I would rather watch an abortion over and over for 4 hours instead of this shit. What the f— I was somehow duped into watching this film twice. It's still awful. But at least Son of the Mask is no longer the worst film I've seen. Whoa, okay. The abortion thing was weird, but this is just taking it to another level. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Zack Snyder's Justice League is meh, okay? The Son of the Mask is absolute torture. I would rather watch Zack Snyder's Justice League 10 times in a row before I ever even consider watching Son of the Mask again. But yeah, I guess this guy really hated this superhero movie. There's two groups of people, the people who hate this movie and the people who love it. There's a lot more people that love it. A good majority of people rated it an 8 out of 10 on Letterboxd. That's 29,845 people rated this movie an 8 out of 10. That is craziness. It has an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. It has a 71% critic score and 95% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a reasonable 54 on Metacritic, but an 8.9 user score on Metacritic. Let me just come out and say, if you love this movie, good for you. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. But do I think it deserves all these great scores? No. Not one bit. If the 2017 Justice League did not exist, these scores would not be as high. And that's just a fact. Okay, it is. And a lot of people are hating on Joss Whedon. Like this guy. Fuck you, Joss Whedon. This is how you make a movie. No. What? Zack Snyder had a lot more wiggle room to make the movie of his dreams. Joss Whedon, on the other hand, had to cut his movie down by a huge margin. And I'm not saying that if Joss Whedon had his way that the movie would have been a masterpiece. It probably still would have been a mess. But Zack Snyder's version is not that much better. It is better. Don't get me wrong. I think it's better than Joss Whedon's movie. But it's not a masterpiece. It's not even one of the best DC movies ever made. Pretty mediocre. And yes, viewer, you must agree with me. That being said, I did not like the 2017 Justice League at all. Also, Snyder's Cut is separated into 6 sections. It's structured like a mini-series. A lot of people are saying that that's how you're supposed to watch it. You know, you're supposed to watch it in sections. But the movie isn't structured like that. There's no build-up or payoff between each section. It's just like randomly cut at certain points throughout the movie. It seems like this was just another tactic that Snyder was trying to use to try and manipulate people into thinking that this movie is more artistic than it really is. People will think it's deep, interesting, cool. You're not gonna like trick me into thinking it's not a bloated movie by separating it into parts. You know that, right? So the bar that Zack Snyder had to clear wasn't very high off the ground. I'm pretty sure like a mouse could have jumped over that bar. So Zack Snyder just leapt right over it. And people are praising him all over the place. Oh my God, this is the Justice League we always wanted. I'm gonna start by saying Zack Snyder's movie is much uglier than Joss Whedon's. It's grayer, it's boxier, and it's fatter. He took the original movie and squished it this way. He threw some dirt on it. And he made it run a 4-hour marathon. He was abusing this movie. It's 4 hours long. You guys thought The Irishman was long. Jesus. So the aspect ratio that he used is 1:3:3 to 1. And from what I've researched, Zack wanted to use this because it looks better on an IMAX screen. And you know, all those people around the world that are watching this movie on an IMAX screen during the pandemic. Nobody's going to the movies right now, Zack. This was a very strange decision. This is what he said verbatim. It's just got a different quality and one that's unusual. No one's doing that. So it seems like Zack Snyder's trying to be the hipster kid in Hollywood. Man, if I had it my way, BVS and Man of Steel would both be in this 1:3:3 to 1 ratio. You know, in superhero movies when there's like a huge fight and there's a lot going on and you want to see a lot of stuff going on the sides. Well, he just kind of went, squished it down. An aspect ratio like this worked a lot better in a movie like The Lighthouse, for example, because the movie's meant to give you this feeling of claustrophobia. And at most, there's 2 people on screen at a time. So it's not like he needs that extra room, you know? And it gave the movie this like old-fashioned, archaic feel to it, which really worked artistically in the movie's favor. For the Justice League, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's very random. I don't know why he did that. Also, this movie's color correction is very strange. They removed like all of the vibrance out of this movie. It's a superhero movie with like Superman and the Flash, like all these bright ass colors, reds, blues, very, very bright, you know? And this is a movie about the Justice League. The Justice League, like the most colorful band of superheroes ever. You got golds, blues, reds. You're just gonna wash it all out? It's like he threw all the characters in the dryer for like 1,000 years. And then he pulled them all out and you have no color anymore. This movie is very strange because he removed some scenes that I thought were unnecessary and bad. But then he included other scenes that I thought were unnecessary and bad. You're just gonna like replace one problem for another? In the original Justice League, there's this dumb scene in the beginning. There's like a phone recording of Superman. This was one of those scenes where you could tell pretty easily that they digitally removed his mustache. So Snyder removed that. And he also removed the Batman scene in the beginning where he like captures a parademon and it explodes. There's no montage of people mourning Superman's death. Instead, it starts with Superman dying and his scream spreads throughout the world and you can see everybody reacting to it and everyone's feeling its effects. This was definitely a more engaging way to start the movie, in my opinion. So good job on that, Zach. So as far as scenes that he included that were kind of random, and I don't know why they were in there, there's a part where a Scandinavian girl singing for no reason, really. We got to keep the scene of the girl singing. I know this movie's like 4 hours long, and we probably should cut some stuff, but no. That's staying because it manipulates the audience into thinking that this movie is more artistic than it is. He's pulling the strings on the viewers. There's also a scene of Wonder Woman and Batman touching a computer mouse at the same time, and it doesn't lead to a romance or anything. It just happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's okay.
Oh, but you guys don't understand. It's leading to a romance in a sequel. Huh? Bet you guys can't wait for the sequel. The Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. Huh? It's coming. Or not. I mean, probably not, but you can tell Zack Snyder really wanted this sequel. There's the whole like Batman parademon drawing that leads to nothing. You can rest assured that Zack Snyder changed the drawing. I honestly laughed out loud when they showed this on screen. Like, that's supposed to be a parademon? Come on, dude. If you look at the one in the Joss Whedon version, it kind of looks like a parademon, but you can see how someone might confuse it with Batman. With the new drawing, it's just like a crudely drawn bat. Like a 3-year-old drew a bat on a napkin. Oh my God. So yeah, thank God he changed that. That was one of the issues with the Joss Whedon version. Also, there's a lot of scenes of heroes saving people to introduce them. That's like the only reason they exist, to introduce the heroes. And I'm not saying this is always a bad thing, but it takes up a lot of time in this movie. If you're just gonna use these to introduce a character and they have nothing to do with the overarching plot, make them short. Most of them aren't short in this movie. Like there's one where Aquaman saves this guy from a boat. It's fine, it lasts for like 2 seconds. And it's like, oh God, that's Aquaman, he's so cool. He saves people from boats. But then there's another one with Wonder Woman and it lasts like 5 minutes. She saves these kids from terrorists. Then there's one with the Flash, where he saves a girl from a car crash. There's a scene of Cyborg putting money into this woman's bank account. I'm more lenient on the Flash and Cyborg because they haven't gotten their own movies before, and people might not be familiar with their characters. But the Wonder Woman scene, that's by far the longest, makes no sense to me. People know who Wonder Woman is. If you're gonna introduce her with a scene like this, gotta make it shorter. You gotta make it short. It just starts to feel like a lot of filler, but at least Zack Snyder had the foresight to remove the Batman scene in the beginning of him, you know, capturing the parademon. We can't have that. Instead, the first scene of Batman is him walking through the mountains in Scandinavia to find Aquaman. And I'm not mad that he removed the Batman scene, but why did he keep the Wonder Woman scene? I think I know why. Because she does like nothing in the movie. The scene of her saving the kids from the terrorists in the beginning, is like the most she does in the entire movie. It's pretty much the only scene that Wonder Woman gets that's like, hey, look, I'm cool, I'm Wonder Woman, you know? I think that's why they kept it in. Henry Cavill makes an angry chipmunk face in this movie, and it's funny. I thought I would mention that. I would also like to mention that there's a scene when Aquaman fails to hold back water. I'm just going to repeat that for everybody that didn't hear me. Aquaman fails to hold back water. Yes, there's a bunch of water gushing towards the heroes, and Aquaman comes out of nowhere and saves everybody, but it's too much water. He couldn't hold that much water. Like, that's a lot of pressure, you know? It's pathetic. He literally has aqua in his name. Waterman can't hold back water. How is he supposed to fight this godlike guy if he can't hold back water? Zack removed the scene of the Flash laying face down in Wonder Woman's tits. Why would you do that? That was the best scene. I want to know. The fans want to know, Zack. So remember the really terrible "Do you bleed" exchange between Superman and Batman?
Do you bleed?
Yeah, Zack Snyder removed that. Thank Christ. And remember the fat bat thing? You know how Superman threw him to the side and he like struggled to get up on his feet? He removed that too. Oh my God, thank you. Instead, in Zack Snyder's version, Superman blasts Batman with his eyeball lasers, and Batman absorbs the blast with his gauntlets, only to have Lois Lane appear at the last second. I do think with a movie like this, especially after all the filming has been done, it's kind of hard to give every character their time to shine. Most of the failures here, I think, were done before they even started filming.
Not impressed.
Oh yeah, there's a scene where Wonder Woman unequips her sword like it's a video game. She like puts it on her back and it vanishes. I thought that was funny. There's so many scenes where a hero is about to die but is saved at the last second. Like way too many scenes. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh, they're saved. Oh my God, what? Oh, they're saved. Oh no, they're gonna die. No, they're not. I know already. Someone's gonna save them. See, here they come. Yep, there they are. He knows there's a lot of comic book nerds out there. So if I just add in more comic book characters, they'll like my movie more. Ingenious manipulation. I have you by my strings. So yeah, that's what he did. He just added a bunch more comic book characters. Obviously, that's not to say that adding more characters is necessarily a bad thing, as long as these additions service the plot in some way. Pretty much all of these additions in this movie were added for practically no reason. Martian Manhunter, Random Green Lantern, Deathstroke, Lex Luthor, the fucking Joker.
Batman.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Man, he was just sprinkling all of these characters in, wasn't he? Cause he wants that sequel. Dude, you know, he wants that sequel so bad. He was planning on it. Do you think Zack Snyder prays at the edge of his bed every night for a sequel to this movie? Probably. Do you think he constantly spams Warner Bros. With emails begging for a sequel? Hey guys, it's me, Zack again. They love my movie. Did you see? Did you see what they're rating it on Rotten Tomatoes? Huh? I'm pretty sure they want a sequel. I'm just putting it out there, so. The ending with the Flash, I have to admit, is better, but the character that improved the most is by far Cyborg, because he actually tried to flesh out his character in this movie. Can you believe it? Joss Whedon just like peppered in a few lines of dialogue about his backstory and thought, hey, that's fine, that's good enough. Snyder did replace some notoriously bad takes, like Wonder Woman's Kal-El, no! If you watch them both, it's slightly different in Zack Snyder's version.
Kal-El, no! Kal-El, no!
But what I want to know is why you didn't just remove that part altogether. It's still bad. He also removed all of Batman's terrible jokes. You know, when he talks to Aquaman and he's like, hey, you're the guy that talks to fish.
I hear you can talk to fish.
Yeah, all of those are gone, thank God. In the original Justice League, there's a scene when the Flash is like whining to Batman because he doesn't know what to do, where they're right outside the room Steppenwolf is in and he has hostages. Instead, the superheroes just immediately go in and fight them, which I think is a good change. I'm not a fan of Steppenwolf's design in either movie, though in Snyder's, I do like how his armor is like a part of his body. You can see it break off arrows in one scene. In another scene, he retracts his armor when in the presence of Darkseid as a notion of respect. It rattles when we're introduced to him, and there's some cool sound effects to accompany it. In the theatrical version, he's just a weird gray dude with steel plating on and a dumb horned helmet. And the funny part is, the theatrical version is more faithful to the comic book version of Steppenwolf. He's just this dude with armor, except in the comics he has red, glowing eyes. He's very evil looking. I guess I just don't like the look of Steppenwolf in general, so I'm not sure I would have liked him in any sort of way they introduced him. I guess if I had to choose one, Snyder's is okay. He just looks like a death metal rhino. I also hate how in Joss Whedon's film, when they introduce Steppenwolf, they have one of the Amazons say, Steppenwolf. When she sees him, which is the laziest way you could ever introduce a villain, is by having one of the characters say the villain's name in like a daunting way. It's you, Steppenwolf. Oh my God, it couldn't be you, Donut Boy. Anybody but you, Donut Boy. In Snyder's cut, when Steppenwolf comes down from his ship, he says,
I will bathe in your fear.
To the Amazons. And then there's a cool moment when the Queen yells,
Show him your fear!
It might have just like got my dumb comic book ape brain going, but I still think it added more hype to the scene. In Snyder's cut, the Amazons almost stop Steppenwolf. There's a scene where they almost get him down, but then he like breaks the ropes. I was like, oh, cool, like these Amazons aren't completely useless. In the theatrical version, they don't stand a chance. I think Snyder did a better job introducing Steppenwolf. The build up to the scene is better. In the theatrical version, Steppenwolf just lands and immediately starts talking to the mother box. He just completely ignores all the Amazons, and he calls it his mother. He does this multiple times throughout the movie. It's weird. And then he like summons the parademons down and they fight. In Snyder's version, the parademons fly down first, and it like builds up the tension in the scene. And then Steppenwolf comes down. When Steppenwolf finally gets his hands on the mother box, they say different things in both films. In Joss Whedon's version, he says, "You will love me," to the Amazon Queen. Very cringe. Did not like. But in Snyder's cut, he says,
The great darkness begins.
Which is almost just as cringe, but not quite. Steppenwolf does kick more ass in this movie. It makes him feel like more of an ongoing threat, and I like that. There's more scenes of him going around gathering the mother boxes and kicking the shit out of people. They even gave him a little pinch of backstory. I did like how they fleshed out Cyborg in this movie. They showed his relationship with his parents, which makes him more compelling. They showed how his dad was never there for him during pivotal moments of his life growing up. The parent that was there for him ended up dying in a car accident. His father saved him from dying in this car accident by using one of the mother boxes on him. So ever since then, he blames his dad for turning him into a freak. They show his abilities through his mind's eye, and they're kind of cheesy, but whatever. It did the job, I guess. There's less bickering between the heroes, and they're more of a cohesive unit in this movie. I thought that was refreshing. At the end, there's this cool like synergy attack between Cyborg and Aquaman. I kind of like that. It reminded me of the old X-Men games I used to play that had like synergy attacks between the X-Men. So yeah, that kind of scratched my nerd itch. So thanks for that, Zach. When Wonder Woman saves these hostages, she proves that she's way too fast. This guy uses an assault rifle, puts it on auto, and just starts spraying at these kids. Wonder Woman absorbs every single shot with her gauntlets. At these speeds, she's rivaling the Flash, okay? That's absurd. Also, remember in Wonder Woman 1984 when they were really trying to hammer home that Wonder Woman doesn't like killing people? She loves people. She will do anything to avoid someone dying. Except in that same movie, she like pretty much kills multiple people, but you know, whatever. In this movie, she just straight up fucks up someone. Like turns them into dust. I like how this scene isn't even used as a way for two heroes to meet or anything. It's just like a random scene for her to save people for no reason. Funny enough, in Joss Whedon's version, they cut away from this scene as soon as she hits her gauntlets together. In Snyder's cut, he wants to show us that she toasted this guy. She fucked him up. He's super dead. Also, he kept in the scene where Wonder Woman lassos a guard and forces him to tell her why they're there, which is 1, wasting precious time. They could kill the hostages at any second. And 2, leads to literally nothing. She asks him who he is, and instead of giving her his name, he tells her they're a group of reactionary terrorists. This is hilarious because nobody would refer to themselves as a terrorist, since I think most people believe they're doing the right thing. Even if they're doing something bad, they think that it'll lead to something good. You know what I mean? But these guys have a lot in common with Darkseid. They're just evil because they're evil. He says they want to destroy the modern world and bring humanity back to the Dark Ages. But why though? No reason? Oh yeah, he was about to explain, but Wonder Woman cut him off right before he could. That's convenient.
We're a small group of reactionary terrorists who want to turn back the clock in Europe 1,000
Boring.
years.
Why the hostages?
He then tells her that they will destroy 4 city blocks. Yeah, that will totally be enough to destroy the modern world and bring everybody back to the Dark Ages. What? These terrorists are not very smart. Remember when the Flash asks Batman what his superpower is? And Batman says, I'm rich. That's even funnier in Snyder's cut, because when they're telling Cyborg's backstory, they explain that he has a power to control the entire monetary system. Like the entire world's economy, he can just manipulate it at a whim. He literally has all of the money in the world at his disposal. Kind of makes Batman's superpower a little redundant, don't you think? I mean, sure, Batman earned his money. He didn't steal it. So he also has status and power and, you know, leverage on people. So maybe that's also an advantage. I think Batman's real superpower is, of course, his gadgets and his planes and cars and shit, which he's in for most of this movie because he doesn't compare at all to any of these superheroes. When you put him next to Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Superman, he just seems pathetic, doesn't he? Batman kind of reminds me of like Boomerang from the Suicide Squad, you know, when they have people like Diablo and Killer Croc. Yeah, I'm just a guy that can throw a boomerang really well. They show this flashback scene when Darkseid failed to use the anti-life equation. It scratched that popcorn nerdy itch that just loves to see people with powers fight each other. I think it's funny that Darkseid decided to use the mother boxes. When he had like 3 armies chilling there waiting for him, he could have waited a little bit, you know? Or maybe just like shot at them from space or something. But no, he goes down there and he's like, we're fine. He gets fucked up. So they fly him away. So then a bunch of time passes and he hires Steppenwolf to find the mother boxes again because he lost them on Earth. And they were divided amongst all the races of Middle-earth. Sorry, I meant the Amazons and the people in the water and oh my God. So they divide the rings of power. Sorry, oh, fuck, I meant the Infinity Stones. God, I meant the mother boxes, okay. So Darkseid hires Steppenwolf to find the mother boxes. And once he finds the mother boxes, to find the anti-life equation, because he has no idea where it is. Oh wait, yes he does. He was there, on Earth. Are you telling me that he's only been defeated once, and he doesn't remember the one planet that he was defeated on? What? This is what Zack Snyder had to say when people started complaining about this plot hole. He almost died when he returned to Apokolips. He was in a fight for power, and much time passed before he was in a position of power again. And by then, all who had been with him had been slayed. Okay, but he's not dead, and he was there too, so I guess he forgot still? Like, you didn't explain how he forgot. Why? Because a lot of time passed? That's stupid. The Flash is supposed to be like the quirky, funny one in these movies, and he's just annoying as hell in both of them, and nothing he says is remotely funny. But still, Snyder decided to remove some of his lines and change other ones, and, you know, they're all just as bad. Nothing was improved. Snyder removed the scene when the Flash is waiting in line, and there's an impatient dickhead behind him, so the Flash quickly draws, like, glasses and a mustache on this guy. So the guy walks up to the counter and the guy behind the counter is like, hey, you have stuff on your face. Zack removed that scene because that wasn't funny. But you know the scene he did keep in? When the Flash is in the truck and he says, aye, aye, to the guard. Yeah, that was hilarious. Thank God he kept that in. Most of Batman's fighting scenes are just CGI, and they all look terrible. Cyborg CGI looks just as bad as it did in the 2017 version. Maybe it looks worse because they have dirt on the screen now. The music that Zack Snyder decided to use in some scenes is a little questionable. So there's a scene when the Flash saves this girl from a car accident. There's like this sad, sappy song playing in the background. You know, you're supposed to be taking this moment seriously because, oh my God, the Flash moves too fast to get any sort of meaningful connection with anybody. And it's only in these fleeting moments that he can really connect with people. But then they ruin the scene by making him pick up a hot dog and put it in his pocket. I guess he's saving it for later. Oh my God, it like completely threw off the tone of the scene. It's so bad. Yeah, there's a bunch of slow-mo scenes in this movie. I guess Zack Snyder thinks slow-mo equals like meaningful and profound. No, it doesn't. It's kind of annoying when you do it over and over. If you're gonna use slow-mo, do it very sparingly. It makes sense to use it for the Flash, but with Aquaman, when he's walking down the pier with waves crashing on him and he has no shirt on and he's drinking, it's like, what is this? Is he modeling right now? It looks like he's modeling. I'm not sure what kind of deodorant or 5 gum you're trying to sell me right now, but I'm not interested. Also, whenever Wonder Woman makes an appearance, they always play the same annoying chanting music. If you're gonna do this, do it once, you know? Once is more than enough. But no, every single time she does anything. And it's only her. Why? It pulls you out of the scene. You can't help but just feel like the music is laughing at you. There's this very formulaic relationship between Steppenwolf, Desaad, and Darkseid. You know, there's the minor baddie that leads to the bigger baddie that eventually leads to the biggest baddie. You could basically replace Steppenwolf with Vader or Kylo, Desaad with Snoke, and Darkseid is Palpatine. Steppenwolf as the Ringwraiths or the Witch King of Angmar, Desaad as Saruman, and Darkseid as Sauron. You see what I'm getting at here? And not only that, Darkseid is like the exact same as Thanos. Almost. They're like 10% different, you know? Like Darkseid is collecting these things across the universe in order to control everybody. Thanos is collecting these things across the universe in order to kill half of everybody. But at least in the Avengers, they give Thanos some motive to do these things. Darkseid has no motive. He's just an evil guy. Just a big bad evil guy that comes out of nowhere to do evil things because he's evil. Okay. Steppenwolf is a much better villain than Darkseid. We know that he's failed multiple times in the past and he's trying to prove himself to Darkseid.
Prepare for his arrival. My redemption is nigh.
So at least we kind of know why he's doing this. We don't know anything about Darkseid. It's really bad, which might have been why Joss Whedon decided to completely take him out of the movie. I think including Darkseid improves Steppenwolf's character, but in doing that, you're including a character that has zero depth. So I'm not sure which one I like more, but at least Darkseid is setting up a sequel. They haven't defeated Darkseid yet, you know? By the end, they defeat Steppenwolf, but not Darkseid. Get ready, everybody, for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. Let's go. By the way, I'm not saying like the whole bad guy leads to another bad guy leads to the ultimate bad guy is like a bad thing. It's fine if stories do this. I just thought it was funny. So yeah, in these movies, Superman is dead. And the heroes are trying to find a way to revive him. And eventually, they use one of the mother boxes to revive him. But they have a choice, right? They can either use the mother box and then reveal its position to Steppenwolf, or they can leave the mother box and not revive Superman in order to keep the mother box from Steppenwolf. I think the plot would have been greatly improved if the heroes decided not to revive Superman and instead tried to hide the mother box. But then Steppenwolf revives Superman. So now the heroes are in a very awful position, right? Surely this sewer villain could have had the foresight to take advantage of his power, unless they just didn't know about Superman. They could have found out about him though. I don't know. I just feel like a little bit of restructuring would have made this movie a lot better. But instead, the heroes wake up Superman and they completely botch it. In both versions of this movie, the heroes fail to convince Superman that they are on his side. It's embarrassing. Like they just kind of sit there and say nothing. And not only that, it looks like they're surrounding him. Get down on your knees or something, guys. Like, Jesus Christ. And then there's this hilarious moment when Cyborg's like auto defense system turns on, which he can't control for some reason, and he shoots Superman. I thought this was so stupid.
What are you doing? It's my auto defense system. It senses danger. Victor, no! Victor! Can't control it!
So whenever his suit senses a threat, it just automatically shoots at it. That is absurd. That is like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Are you kidding me? What if I was this guy's next door neighbor and my dog barked at him? Would he just like eviscerate my dog? What if I was walking on the street and I stepped on his toe by accident? What is going on? I'm so confused. What if you bump into this guy on the street? Would he just like throw you through a building? There's less Lois Lane in Snyder's cut. I like this decision. She was a snore, but he made sure to include a scene where she opens a drawer. And what's inside? A pregnancy test. Guess what, everybody? Lois Lane is pregnant with Superman's baby. He even changed the ending to make it look like she's carrying a baby basket instead of a box. Even more setup for Justice League 2. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. I'm sure he has a lot planned with Superman's baby. I can't wait to see. Or not. It probably won't happen. It seems to me that a lot of people across the internet like this movie, so maybe Warner Bros. Would be like, hey, go for it. Also, this pregnancy test is from a company named Force Majeure. I know I didn't say that right, okay? But it has the dictionary definition of an unforeseeable circumstance that prevents someone from fulfilling a contract, or irresistible compulsion or greater force. You guys can decipher whatever meaning you want from that. Zack Snyder wanted to remain faithful to the comics, so he changed Superman's suit from the classic suit to a black suit, because his black suit was used in the comics when he was resurrected, and the black suit makes it easier for him to absorb energy. There is this cool scene of him flying up and absorbing the sunlight. I don't know, I kind of like that. That was cool. And it's really important to Zack to remain faithful to the comics, because remember Steppenwolf, how, you know, the Steppenwolf in this movie looks way more similar to the Steppenwolf in the comics than the Steppenwolf in Joss Whedon's version of the movie. The best change in this movie is the ending. Cyborg and Flash work together to separate the mother boxes. The Flash runs in a circle around the area to give Cyborg the energy he needs to separate them. But a blast from one of the turrets ends up tripping the Flash, and so everyone dies. Wait, what? A blast from one of the turrets ends up tripping the Flash. It's kind of funny if you think about this part, because in the Flash's perspective, the lasers that are coming out of these guns would be moving so slow to the Flash. It's kind of hilarious thinking how he would get hit by one of them. You know, like he would see it coming very slowly, and then... I mean, he could just dance around it, to be honest, but whatever. Okay, he was distracted for way too long for some reason and ended up tripping. So the energy was cut off and the world ended. But since the Flash moves so fast, he decides to run faster than he's ever ran before, risking his life to turn back time in order to give Cyborg the last precious moments he needs to separate the mother boxes. And he does that, and it's a pretty cool scene. I think he talked too much during this scene. You know, he has way too much dialogue for this scene. Maybe give him like 1 or 2 lines during this part. I think that's more than enough. Let people experience the scene. Stop interrupting it with dialogue. Every 2 seconds, the Flash is thinking something, oh, blah, 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 blah. I thought this scene was kind of cool. That being said, the Flash's character arc is super weak. He goes to his dad at the end and he's like, hey dad, look, I got a real job, huh? A real job. And his dad's like, hey, hell yeah, son, you got a real job.
His foot's in the door. That's my boy right there. Taught him nothing he knows.
Dad, you're gonna get maced again.
I don't care. I kind of like the whole make your own future thing. You know, his dad said that to him earlier, and then he says that at the end. I guess in order to really appreciate Zack Snyder's ending, you have to experience the theatrical version. because, oh my god, it is so bad. In Snyder's version, no longer does the Flash and Superman have this awkward break from the action during the climax where they randomly save civilians. Instead, Superman is used to defeat Steppenwolf while the Flash runs in a circle and builds up energy. And no longer is there a weird exchange between Batman and Superman when Superman is like,
I knew you didn't bring me back because you like me.
And Batman is like, I don't not like you. I honestly forgot how egregiously bad the theatrical version was.
Dostoevsky.
In Snyder's cut, the way Aquaman, Superman, and Wonder Woman defeat Steppenwolf is way cooler, and it's a better payoff since they lost just a moment before. Also, the sky isn't a dumb red color. Yeah, in Joss Whedon's version, he desperately wanted the sky to look like it was from the game Bloodborne. So yeah, Zack made the sky normal. Thank God. So I guess the color correction team had one W in this movie. Also, for whatever reason, Batman wears these really stupid shades at the end of the movie. Even when he's not in a vehicle, he just walks around with these dumb shades on. You look stupid. Take off those sunglasses, Batfleck. You look like a dumbass. I guess now I should probably talk about the epilogue. Dear Lord. Why didn't Zack just end the movie at the end? That would have been perfectly reasonable. No, because he needed to use the Joker to clickbait people into watching his movie. Because it's not till the fucking end. You know what I mean? There's so many YouTube videos that will show you something crazy, right? And it won't even be in the video. Same thing with Snyder's cut. He clickbaited everybody with the Joker because he knew that this scene with the Joker would circulate throughout the internet and it would get more eyeballs on his movie. So he had to include it. And oh my God, it's so cringe. Oh, it's so bad. Jared Leto fails to bring anything new to the role aside from pain. His first line is literally, "Au contraire, my little fish stick." That's not a joke. He seriously calls someone a fish stick. Oh my God.
Au contraire, my little fish stick.
The poor Joker. They do the whole, "You need me, I complete you. You can't kill me, Batman, it's against your code." Heath Ledger did this a billion times better, but Jared Leto tries it. He says,
"Besides, who's gonna give you a reach around?"
What the fuck? It's so bad. It's so bad. He even tries to mimic the vocal inflections and growl that Ledger made up for the character.
Why so serious?
I'll be the bigger man.
It's strange seeing so many people online giving this scene so much credit. I have to admit, he does look better than he did in Suicide Squad. He doesn't have dumb tattoos anymore. His teeth are black, so he's scarier looking. I did like his overall appearance, but his lines are awful. His delivery is just as bad, if not worse, than in Suicide Squad. I just feel like people love the character so much that they're willing to make exceptions when he's terrible. Would I like to see a sequel? No. Would I watch a sequel if he made one? Probably just out of curiosity. Yeah. I have to say, I am more willing to watch a sequel now than I was when I saw the 2017 version. This one is better, and I would give them a second chance. I'm a nice guy, what can I say? I would let them try and win me over again. When I saw the 2017 version, I was just happy it was over. But yeah, get someone else to write the screenplay. Maybe I would watch it. Never know. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let me know what you thought of this movie in the comment section down below. I'm sorry this video is so late. Everybody else on the planet has already put out a video on this already, but there's a reason for that, okay? I recorded this video 3 times. 3 times! The first time, my external hard drive was full, so I recorded for like 2 hours, then I noticed that I only recorded for the first minute and I wanted to die. The second time I tried recording, the audio was all fucked up. So this was my 3rd attempt. So thank you for all of your patience. I haven't had a great month, especially with all the issues I had with my science fiction video. Oh my God. Anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know what you'd like me to review next in the comment section down below. Thank you to all my patrons that make videos like this possible. Make sure to check out my channel with Bionic Pig named Alien Bacon. On that channel, we do like classic commentary type stuff. We talk about other YouTube channels. We do tier lists, gaming, all sorts of stuff. It's a fun channel, so go check it out if you haven't. The link to it will be in the description. Also, please make sure to check out alienclothing.com. We have a bunch of new clothes over there that I think you might like, including this one. We got some tie-dye in the house. It's awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.